Great to be back at base, great to be back talking about London, talking about its potential, talking about the fact that there are some real risks and pressures that need to be addressed. And I'm going to give you two ideas following my speaking notes. Two ideas, they are to get fit, to get retrofit, and to get smart. So let's talk about getting fit, getting our housing fit. We all know that the debate about affordability in London is a rich one. It fills our papers most days. I haven't seen the news today, but we were due more news today about the regulation of mortgages to try and take out some of the heat in the housing market, albeit in central London it's completely driven by international rather than national factors. But actually we don't often talk about or spend enough time talking about affordability of cost in use. And let's just remind ourselves of some facts. The 3.3 million homes in London account for 33% of the capital's energy demands. Perhaps more significantly, the disposable income for the poorest 20%, this is across the UK, spent on energy has increased from 8% to 11% over the 10-year period from 2002 to 2012. Or to put it another way, the disposable incomes for the poorest 20% rose by around 11% in real terms over that 10-year period. A good story. But the average spend on energy rose by 57%. So we have an issue about affordability for cost in use of our homes, and we can and we need to do more. So the Green Deal, particularly for individual owner-occupiers, needs to offer more. There needs to be an incentive from the Green Deal. You need to feel that you're going to get some of the financial gain for taking the initiative to improve your property and to drive down energy use by increasing energy efficiency. At present, it doesn't work in that way. And in London, and we've been working with the GLA directly on this, there is help, and there's going to be more, I hope, in the future for landlords, all landlords, public and private and housing associations, to take action and to gear up and implement programmes for driving energy efficiency across their homes at a much larger scale than we've seen to date. We need to see this happen at scale. The benefits are numerous. Less energy usage, lower carbon emissions, lower fuel bills. Now, if lower fuel bills can actually bring benefit to particularly low-income households, they then have resource to spend in the economy. They use that money much more economically actively than simply sending it into the energy companies to pay their energy bills. So there's a real economic benefit simply by reducing energy bills, not by some false capping, but by reducing energy usage. And you do that through enhanced energy efficiency. And that is, I think, a significant and important part of the affordability debate. But of course, economic benefits would result from a large-scale programme, retrofitting those 3.3 million homes. Really, only a small percentage to date have actually had the benefit of energy efficiency measures to them. Much more can be done. And that would be a huge programme of economic activity, great employment, great skills development, development that could take those skills around the country, and at the same time we'd produce all those other benefits. And it's also important to recognise that actually energy-efficient homes are also healthier homes. So if you're a landlord, you sit on the landlord body, you advise landlords, or you write about them, make this a priority for your asset strategies. But let's also talk about getting smart. I want to talk to you about two very particular initiatives, because I want to stay very practical. The first of those is LED lights. We should have a London-wide programme to change all of our street lighting to LED lights. It's incredibly practical. It probably doesn't get people out on the streets cheering. It actually reduces energy requirements by up to 80%, reduces carbon emissions by up to 80%. You could borrow from the Public Works Loan Board if you want to, you could borrow commercially, but now the Green Investment Bank has introduced a green loan specifically for local authorities to enable them to pursue initiatives like this. So we could, across London, actually set a pace that will be noticed not just in the UK but across the globe about actually turning a whole city of London's scale and importance across to LED lighting. And it isn't just about energy. It is also about actually greater efficiency for local government. It does actually lower costs because the way the financial package works, even though you have to borrow money, not only do you pay it off through the lower fuel costs, but actually you come out with a very positive net present value. But the other thing, if you know anything about LED lights, you can light a street better. It's much more directional. It actually produces safer streets, and actually there's less light pollution as well. So it's better for occupants, better for visitors, better for pedestrians and those using our streets. It's actually, frankly, a no-brainer. The other thing I'd like to say about smart is I think it would be good for London to really get behind the smart meters installation programme. So you may or may not know this, you can get a smart meter now. Some energy companies advertise them already directly. We're involved with a licence from DEC in producing the single telecommunications network across the UK. That and a new design of smart meters, a second specification called, believe it or not, SMETS 2, will actually give us fantastic flows of data, real time, between smart meters and energy companies. Now, the government's intention and programme is to see everybody with a gas and electricity meter have a smart meter in your home and in your office and in your places of leisure by 2020. But London could take the lead. And just think about what that brings to consumers and what other benefits could flow from that. You only pay for what you use, and you know what you're using. And you use that knowledge to do two things. You use that knowledge to make decisions about what energy you use, about what times of the day you use energy. And you'll see that, I think, create all sorts of innovation in the way that tariff works over time. So you change your usage, and you probably drive your usage down. But also it puts power in the hands of the consumer, because in that sort of system, it's actually much easier to reach the political ambition of 24-hour switching from one energy provider to another. It will put the boot on the foot of the consumer. But just think about having that network working across London, across the UK, and it will have an incredibly high reach. Just think about the opportunities that flow from using such a smart and intelligent distribution of data in such dynamic form. So actually think about streetlights. Think about that telecommunications network. They're exciting practical options on their own, but they also can form an integral part of a smart cities agenda. Energy efficient, connected, integrated and intelligent. Combining, for example, road and transport network management with resource management and public information. Who knows, it could go into all forms of, different forms of information and data management that helps you manage your home effectively, more remotely, and helps others support people who are more vulnerable. So actually helps us create a smart city. And a smart city is a fantastic platform for growth. A smart city reduces energy use, cost and carbon. Frankly, a smart city works. Thank you.